Perhaps we need something to balance that out.
My name is Jason Greene. I'm 21 years old, and I'm a student. I'm gonna win a golden ticket today because I have talent. And I believe in magic.
How are you?
Wonderful.
Ooh. What are you singing, Jason?
You're beautiful. Look at this one. And
Thank you. Thank you. Are you gonna sing?
Yes, I'm gonna sing.
What are you gonna
I'm getting
sing?
there. A little song by the Divinals.
Oh, yeah.
What's it
Not
called?
I touch myself.
I touch
Wait,
myself. Okay.
let's do this.
Because you know what? You're the one who makes me go money.
Uncomfortable.
You're the sun who makes me shine. When you're around, I'm always laughing. I wanna make you mine. I touch myself. I want you to love me. I forget myself. I want you above me. I get down on my knees. I'll do anything for you. Boom, boom. I don't want anybody else. When I think about you, I touch myself. Oh, yeah. I honestly do. I do.
I believe you.
I really do.
I believe you.
Is she talking to a puppy or?
Okay, stay there. That's fine.
I believe you.
So let's judge him down there since we, Okay, so Sam,
She
what do you
got me
think?
on my knees.
And I knew you'd get there eventually. Jason, if you're comfortable down there, I'm cool with it.
Can you come down and join me?
No.
Please?
Right, Jason, now, as much as I would love to spend a lot of time going through this, we're just going to go
Do you want to
straight...
spend a lot of time on it?
Oh my God!
Sorry, they just keep
Do not
coming.
hit
They
on my
just-
friend.
I'm sorry.
Jason,
They just keep coming.
Jason, right, we're going to...
All right, all right.
We're going to vote.
right, I'm
Randy, yes or
sweating.
no?
No.
No.
Cara?
No, honey.
Katie?
I feel
Dirty?
dirty.
Katie, you make
knew
me
you
feel
felt
dirty.
dirty.
I've
I
seen
know.
those.
I know.
I've
And
seen
you know,
those
it takes
music
a lot for me
videos.
to feel dirty. It takes a lot for me to feel dirty.
I'm
So
sure
I'm
it
gonna have
does.
to say no.
Especially with that top.
Whoa.
Girlfriend. Go ahead, just you can't get these.
Okay, Jason. We're just going to say no, but that was very...
It was funny though. It was entertaining.
See you later.
Bye, Jason.
Take care.
Have a
was
great
You made an
day.
impression.
Yes.
Very nice.
And it's hard to make girls feel dirty.
I know.
No,
Really?
it's not hard for me. But the point is, I'll see you next year.
Got it.
Oh, hey,
Whoa.
okay.
Spunk,
Got it.
spunk, spunk.
3 snaps in a Z formation.
Jason, just
That's
go
right.
around there, and Ryan will be waiting.
I think he liked you.
That was uncomfortable.
It seemed like, I seemed like they enjoyed you.
Oh, they loved it. Oh, well, I don't want to say loved. They did enjoy this.
Yeah.
Every inch of it.
Good. Well, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, too. I have a present for you. Call me, Ryan. Anytime. I'm serious.
Freckle, welcome to the Lives of the Artist podcast.
Thank you for having me. I love being here on the Lives of Artists podcast.
I've been waiting for this conversation, this podcast, this interview with you for so long. You're one of my favorite people. We met in LA, God, what was it? 8 years ago now? And you're one
So
of the
like
most...
2017, 2018, yeah.
Exactly. And you're one of the most artistic people I've ever met in my life. But you came into public vision, public attention, should I say, in the strangest way possible. You were singing I Touch Myself in front of Katy Perry and Simon Cowell on American Idol. How did that come about? Tell me the story.
Well, yeah, I guess that was my national debut. I just always thought that song was really funny. And I wanted to prank, and because I was really into the show Punked by Ashton Kutcher, and he would like punk celebrities. So I was like, wouldn't it be funny if I went on American Idol and I sang I Touch Myself? And it was a summer. I think I was probably bored. And they had the first round of auditions at the Rose Bowl. Little did I know that it's like rounds and rounds and rounds of producer session. It's all fake. They make it look like it's just... And I got there and I'm seeing this huge stadium. The first level is 2 people at a booth and I thought, well, how are they going to know if I'm coming from the section? Because it was going to go, I was like, I'll be here all day. So I just got up and walked with my friend because I was taking my friend who's a real singer and I I wanted her to, but I didn't want to go wait with the parents. So I was like, well, I'll just go with you as far as we go, and I'll sing. I don't know. I touched myself, and
Wait, so you
and
weren't
so she
you
did.
weren't even you were just there keeping someone company, and you just got into the audition?
Yeah, because and then she did her song and was like amazing, and the producer booth was actually the voice teacher of the show or the vocal coach, and then I did I don't want anybody else when I think about you I touch myself, oh yeah, and then she goes, that's my brother, and then they pulled 2 golden tickets. um and so I was like, okay, well, they're going to find out that I'm not your actual brother, but, queer family. And then I kept going to rounds of producers because I was like, well, fuck it. I'll just bite my lip and give it hell. And then every time, when they're finally going to let me go home, I'll go home, but you'll just keep going. And they kept saying yes, 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 because they knew what good television would be. And then when I had that exchange with Katy Perry, I knew like, oh, that they're gonna air this. And then one of the head main producers, like afterwards, after I did the whole thing with my number, she was like, you had that all set up as a comedy routine, didn't you? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, genius. And I was like, I mean, typical Tuesday, but whatever.
And then you got on your knees, and Katy Perry said, "Oh, are you talking to your puppy?" And
Yeah, no,
literally,
though,
I'll
yeah.
quote it. I'll quote it. Then she asked. Then you literally said to Simon Cowell, "Can you come down here and join me?" Which I just thought was hilarious.
Well, here's the thing that they do with editing. There was like a whole monologue. I was talking about myself and having gone to an arts high school and like doing theater. And then that's why you hear him say, are you going to sing? Because it was actually because they asked me these questions. So I was like, yeah, I'm getting there. And then while I was singing, Randy or somebody said, get down on your knees. And so I did, but they cut their audio out of it. So you don't hear them saying, get on your knees. It just makes it look like I got on my knees. Just fine.
And what was Katy Perry seemed like she fancied you a little bit, and you fancied her a little bit.
Well, or I mean, she said, because, she comes from Christian rock and I guess she knows America better than I do. And she was like, I feel dirty. And I said, no, you make me feel dirty. I've seen those videos. And then she said, I know. And it takes a lot to make me feel dirty. I said, I'm sure it does, especially in that top. Because, I was going to Groundlings at the time. I was doing like improv comedy. Like it was easy for me. I also just didn't care because if I wanted to sing, I would have sang Mary Had a Little Lamb.
Right. And they gave you a straight no, which was, I mean, what was that experience like? I mean, were you kind of hoping for that result?
I mean, I didn't think from singing I Touched Myself I was going to pass onto the show. I wasn't in my singing era either. So I guess, yeah, I was. But then I also didn't think they'd air it. Like, I think it'd just been this moment that I was going to experience for myself I was 21, like that was kind of, at the arts high school, we were all swashbucklers. Like it was our sense of humor.
Well, let me ask you a question. So were you kind of searching that was your first, obviously you had a whole upbringing and a life and everything before that. Were you searching for fame because there was something missing from your upbringing? Us artists, we have troubled upbringings, and were you searching for something or?
Well, no, I wasn't searching for fame because I certainly didn't I didn't go into it thinking they'd air it. I went to help my friend, and the idea of how funny it would be to sing I Touch Myself came from the fact that I was in like strict theater acting program at the arts high school, and I never did musical theater. I just didn't. I always was like, well, no, that's what gays do. They do musical theater. And so and now I love it. But at the time I didn't. So the theater department always did one musical. So when we had our like serious auditions for the play season, we had to do 16 bars of a song. And it was always like our gag, our like inner circles gag to do like tits and it's from a musical, the ballet one. Or no, the I forget which one it is, but or like some funny song because like
Yeah, a
we
musical
weren't there to
theatre
sing, we're
song,
acting.
something kind of tongue in cheek, and yeah.
Yeah, and body. Yeah. So I'd always thought, if I have to sing anything, like maybe I touch myself because I just thought it was a funny song, and I was a big Austin Powers fan at the time.
And afterwards, you handed your number to Ryan Seacrest, and
Well, because when
that was so funny because you got a straight no, and then you went
yeah,
backstage and he interviewed you, and you were like, "Sweetheart, here's my number. Call me."
because as I was sitting there about to go into the room, I mean, they make you wait so long. I was coming up with bits like, well, what could I do? What could I do? And when I saw him, I was like, oh my God. And my friend had gum. I was like, give me the gum thing. I'm going to write my number and give it to him because I figured I wasn't going to go through. So I was like, I just needed to keep the bit going.
But you're like, when I met you in 2017, 2018, whenever it was,
Mm-hmm.
you are the like literally born for stardom. And we'll get into your career
Oh, thank
in a
you.
minute. I mean, you have done later things. This is your first sort of stint on national TV in America, I guess. But
Mm-hmm.
we'll get into your career later. But you were like, when I met you, you were just like born for stardom. You were like the most artistic, charismatic, naturally star-born person I'd ever met. And
Oh, well.
you just came up with this thing, and then what was the response after that? I mean, you went completely viral, and then what happened?
Well, actually, it wasn't as viral as it probably would have been, maybe even just a few years after. Like, there was still in the era of YouTube videos like cats drinking milk. Like, it was not, things didn't go, and we didn't have even Instagram. It was just Facebook. So it was rare that you'd have YouTube videos posted on Facebook, stuff like that. I thought Hollywood, like I'd be like, oh, I thought it was funny and I'll get a sitcom. But I didn't realize that America it was like not ready for like queer representation in that way. There's this whole Rolling Stones
Right.
article
This
about
this
like how
this
they've
was what this
mistreated
was
queer
like
people for
2011.
2008 or yeah,
2008.
11 probably. That's a very different
Yeah, and
time.
you're right.
And
America, it was a different place back then. I mean, the queer culture and everything like that has totally, taken over Hollywood. Back then, people weren't ready
yeah.
for it. You were ahead of your time. I mean, really.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it was weird because then, like the first YouTube comments, there'd be things like, "This person's gay. Gays belong to burn in hell." If I saw this person on the street, I'd punch them in the face, and I just was like, "Whoa!" I was not ready for Middle America. I didn't even. I guess maybe I was detached because I didn't feel that I was like I was doing a ruse anyway, so it was like, oh, whatever. And also, yeah, gay, like that's like calling the kettle black. So but it made me aware of like how conservative TV and like the industry is to a degree. So then, I did. My friend's dad used to sell airtime to uh, television networks for ads. And he was like, I got you a spot on San Diego, Fox News, Channel 69, which is also kind of hilarious. And I was like, he's like, you want to do it? And I was like, well, I already did the bit. Like, what am I going to do? Like, well, good morning, San Diego. There's a new weather boy in town. Like, because at that point, this is 20 years ago. I was just so hyper and like always kind of with zingers and like just like a weird I don't know, like pirate drunkard without even drinking at that age. Now
Yeah, you were ambitious and you were just taking on anything and just trying to see what would happen. You were experimenting like a true artist, really.
yeah.
Completely
Now
understand
mind
that.
you, yeah, and like mind you, I had already auditioned and got into the LA County High School for the Arts. I had 4 hours a day of strict theater training, and then I was awarded the Emerging Young Artist Award, first place for acting, which gave me a 4-year scholarship where I studied method acting and Alexander technique and groundlings. So like I was a trained queer person before we'd ever. I mean, I don't know what Alan Cummings maybe like. There's not a lot of like serious queer people, let alone at that time. So it is a little like it was as if the character I was playing was a crazy person coming off the street, like wanting to win American Idol, but because I had, I think, stage training, it gave the little best of both worlds. So then, I continued my training. I did a lot of plays, like independent films. And then Brian Jordan Alvarez, who made Caleb Gallo, we
Well, let me
became
ask you.
friends.
Let me ask you about that because that was your next step. And then, when I met you,
Mhm.
I didn't know about the American Idol audition. I just met you. I loved you. I thought you were great. We were drinking heavily at the time, and we were having a great time in
Yeah.
LA. And then someone told me, like, you didn't even mention it. Someone just said, "Oh, have you seen Freckle's series?" And I was like, "What series?" Oh,
Oh,
he's done a TV series called The Gay and Wondrous Life of Caleb Gallo, which you
yeah.
wrote and you starred in and you produced and you directed. And I was like, no. And I put it
No,
on one night.
I didn't write, produce, and direct it. Brian Jordan Alvarez did, but I did, come up with a lot of my own material, and it's the characters based off the Freckle character that I was
Yeah,
doing live.
based off of you. Sorry, I didn't. I didn't realize.
Mhm.
I thought I thought you wrote it as well. But you came up with a lot of lines, right?
Yeah.
And it was genius. It was genius. Anyone listening to this, look it up. It's on YouTube. It's called The Gay and Wondrous Life of Caleb Gallo, and it is absolutely genius. And then so I watched it and I was like, "Oh my God, Freckle's an actual genius. This is incredible." And I looked at you in a different way. I was like, "This is pure talent. This girl, this sexually fluid, bisexual, everything, star, woman, man, whatever you want to call yourself. Let's not
Two-spirit.
categorize each other, but you were just super talented, and that was amazing. How did that come about? Did he approach you? What was it?
Well, so we had become friends like 10 years before because a friend of mine went to USC. So I started going to all the parties during college years. I didn't go to USC, but of course, I met all the theater kids. It's a small community. I meet actors and find each other, right? And so I met Brian and we just got along super well. And I remember he thought, and we met then and we like kind of lost touch. And then I got like a text message that was like, I touched myself. And it was during the American Idol stuff. And so then we would like go to gay bars together. And I remember he was either go-go dancing or waiting, serving tables or something. And he wasn't like really that happy. And I was like, you've got to go to Groundlings. You've got to go to Groundlings. Like, I did Groundlings. I think you'll love it. I think it will all work out for you. And he did all of Groundlings. Then he did the CBS Diversity Showcase. And then he was like, I have this script for a pilot. Let's make it. And then it was like, okay. And then we made the 5 episodes, which I like to think is like a limited series. It's almost like a long form movie, you know?
Yeah, it was kind of like a movie. If you can watch it, back to back, and it kind of makes sense as a movie. But then you kind of got like pigeonholed as like this gender fluid actress kind of thing, and I don't know, it kind of
Yeah,
pigeonholed
I
you a
mean,
little bit.
well, I got my agent and manager because of it. I had the very long hair and I had a very specific makeup
So
aesthetic.
was that a
And
positive
then,
thing for you at the time, or
well, it was because I felt like I got to, because there's nobody else that had been really doing what they call now like non-binary. And
right?
also, through the whole thing, I got a network deal to have my own show. But then the pandemic happened and the writer's strike happened and I lost my parents. And you know how you get into like development hell. And so I still have many treatments for my own shows. But I will say my experience with TV film, Hollywood version, was like, I was just saying to somebody the other day, and because when people ask like, do you really want to do this, like, do you really want to do that, like I I would imagine, or what I will say is they are like, well, of course you're a star, we already know that, but do you want to do this business? And that's when I'm like, well, if it were like a 70s film on actual film, on digital, and it were like experimental and kind of about like war and how the atom bomb is a manifestation of man's ego, like then I would do that, like a Hare Krishna character. But like as far as like going on auditions for CSI, Not, I'm not. That's not like what I want to do. I have an alt comedy sense, and then I started making music and studying music
Wait,
and
wait, wait.
working on.
Let's back up to the Caleb Gallo character. So
Mhm.
give me some of the classic lines. There was one classic line where you were in the window and you were calling out. And what was that line that you said? It was the funniest thing I'd literally ever seen. What was the line from the
Oh, well,
window?
there's a whole because that actually I
Tell
don't
us
did
about
that
the
not,
lead up
no
to that.
the okay there's these guys outside and I say yoo-hoo boys and but I'm telling Brian in the back seat of the car like we're in an Uber and I'm like and then these guys come up to my apartment and one of them has the most beautiful face I've ever seen and and then they sit on the bed and I'm like well careful because this really happened with Brian. I was like careful, who says careful to somebody, because I had just gone to Muji and gotten these Japanese linens that aren't that expensive, but it was my first apartment and my first like big spending stuff. And he was like, expensive? They're not even soft. And I said to him, this is in real life. And then it made its way in. I said, well, sometimes things that are expensive are worse.
My night last night.
Oh, tell me all about it.
So I'm hanging out in my apartment. I've got some candles lit. I'm feeling good. I've had 8 glasses of wine.
Gotcha.
And down in the street, I hear these 2 beautiful boys playing. They're skateboarding or doing flips or something. And one of them looks up at me and has the most beautiful face I've ever seen. Asian.
Beautiful.
And you know how I like a little Asian. You remember my date with Len?
Very well.
The point is I say, woohoo boys. And they sort of look. The one who isn't Asian is black.
You don't have to. This could be a colorblind story.
I want to fill it with color.
Yeah, but I'm just saying it's like there's a race problem in Hollywood right now.
And in America, a racism problem.
I agree.
Well, this story isn't racist. It's diverse. If everyone in it was white, then it would be racist. Caleb Gallo.
You know what? You're right. Go ahead.
So the boys come up to my apartment and I'm wearing a robe. I'm only wearing a robe. And I say, why don't you come in my boudoir and watch me do a monologue? And they say, where's the bed? And I say, this is the bed right here. And they say, can we sit on the bed? And I say, sure, but these are expensive Japanese linen. And they say, but they're not even soft. And I say, sometimes things that are expensive are worse.
Wow.
So anyway, I sucked both their dicks.
Did you do the monologue?
I did an early work by the master.
Cameron Diaz.
It's
Sometimes
such a good line.
things that are
Sometimes,
expensive are
yeah,
worse.
yeah, things are expensive or worse. But you came up with that line.
Yeah, and then but he like put it into the scenes and stuff. So it just
Yeah, but you came up with a lot
it
of
was
lines.
a
I mean, you kind
perfect
of half
storm.
wrote the show.
Well, because I'm an improviser, and now I'm a writer. Now I write, but at the time, I love improv and improv comedy. It's fun. It is an art, and I want to get up and get into stand up. That's going to be my next adventure, having a band and getting into stand up.
So tell me, what's it like being an actor in Hollywood? I mean, there must be so much fakeness, so much, competitiveness, and just like horrible
Well,
cattiness.
just the other day, I was saying that this bad stereotype of competitiveness for acting is so unnecessary because there's actually plenty of work to go around, and everybody. If more people were doing work and everybody was healthy and happy, then we would create better and better work. So I don't know what it's like to be an actor in Hollywood because I never felt like I was a traditional actor in Hollywood. I always felt like I was directing my own painting dreams into reality and kind of creating my own aesthetic and vibe and style. And I found that I can do that more with music just by the nature of it. And then if I write a musical comedy, I can combine the two, but I'm still on that journey. So I don't know. I mean, I don't put myself, I do like doing voiceovers. I do. And I did Fallout 76. I'm the first non-binary character in the video game series. And I did a couple other things. That was fun. And it's an art in itself. But I don't know. I don't, it's been a while since I've been around like auditioning actor, like TV working actors. I kind of avoid it, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like, I mean, your career has been so diverse. You've gone from American Idol to, doing TV shows, to doing musical theater, to doing plays, to doing all kinds of stuff. Um, but you've always been deeply rooted to your Mexican roots. I remember the first time I met you, you're like, I am Mexican.
Well, because I think I don't look necessarily Mexican, so people write me off as white. And if they knew that, like, my single mom and four brothers and sisters and my tamales every Christmas, like, it is a big part of. I definitely think my spice and it's just East LA, like from LA, homegrown, like a homie. I'm your homegirl. So like when people write it off or like don't believe me, I'm always like, okay, you you win. Like, well, I don't know what you gain out of that, but it is. I do think it's definitely shaped me. Now, I used to spend my summers with my white grandparents in Sacramento and had very like posh, as you guys say, over the pond, or like bougie. And then I'd have my like very like I mean single mom, working class, like Mexican
East
and lots of
LA.
cousins. East LA, yeah, big family, brothers and sisters, uncles and aunts, house always full. So I think a lot of my joy and love and kind of like let anyone in kind of comes definitely from that side because I do embrace people. A lot of people, it takes time for them to warm up to someone, or they're skeptical or discerning. Not me. I'm extremely open until you give me a reason not to be.
Well, I remember you were like, we met in West Hollywood, and you were like, honey, come to a house party in Silver Lake, which is kind of East LA. And you introduced me
Hey,
to
yeah,
all of these wonderful characters and all of these people. And then it was a Halloween party one night, and you had a friend, and he was on the piano, and you started singing Spice Girls, and you got the whole room
yeah.
singing, and it was just the most incredible. You have that energy. You have this. Joie de vivre, yeah. Maybe it's the spice of the Mexican side of you, but yeah.
Maybe joie de vivre. Is joie de vivre French?
Well,
Because
it is
what's the
French, yeah.
difference between? Oh, so it is French. What's the difference between that and je ne sais pas, or is it je ne sais quoi?
Je ne sais pas means I
Because
don't know.
somebody just yesterday said, "Oh, je ne sais pas or je ne sais quoi means that."
Je ne sais quoi means I don't know what, and je ne sais pas means I
Oh,
don't
well,
know.
it is a little bit. Oh, okay. Well, then I guess they use it as an expression. Like they have that je ne sais,
I love I
but then
love
what
the
did
term
you
I love
say?
the term joie de vivre. Joie de vivre is
Joie de
joy
vivre.
of
Yeah.
life. It's just joy of life, and
Joy of
you
life.
have
Oh,
that in
yeah.
abundance.
hmm Oh, totally. And that's why I'm taking it to Vegas because I feel like, if if I'm gonna have a return, I didn't go anywhere. If I'm gonna like run around loving life, I'm not gonna do it and I'm gonna do it in Broadway because I've been on Broadway, and I'm not gonna do it in Hollywood because I don't really like Hollywood. But I think Vegas is the perfect kitsch kind of like entertainment capital of the world to like really do some sort of musical comedy project.
Oh,
That's
for
where I'm at
sure.
right now.
You're in your Frank
Literally.
Sinatra
Yeah.
era. You're in your Frank Sinatra era.
Absolutely. Uh-huh. Yes. Absolutely.
Entertain the masses, defeat
Yes.
defeat everyone.
For
Frank
once I
Sinatra was
can
a
say this is mine, you can't take it. Long as I know I got love, I can make it for once in my life. But I'll come in and out of Frank into my own voice too. I'm not going to do. I mean, I would love to study and become like an Elvis impersonator. Oh, just like a if
But
I can
tell me
dream.
about your love for Broadway and for musical theater, because I don't know, were you
I
trained
don't
in
have a
that?
love for
You have
Broadway
so
or
much.
musical. No, no, not at all. I like old Hollywood movie musicals. And if you really do your research, it wasn't until Roger and Hammerstein and Oscar and you know, a lot of those Andrew Lloyd Webber. That's when people think of they have the bad stereotype of musicals as people breaking out into song, which is fine because I do that all the time. But if you
Well, that's
go
what I was going to
earlier,
say. Every time I'm with you, you break into some musical,
I
some
or
some some
that
some
has to do.
random musical theater that I don't haven't even heard
Uh,
about. Yeah,
Well,
Hamstein and
it's
Ramstein.
probably just a jazz standard that I'm making sound cheesy, but in the 40s and the 30s, before that idea, there was musical comedies, and they were really good, like scene work, comedians, and then there'd be like numbers, like jazz standards in between. And so I really want to try to bring that back and bring it back in like a lo-fi way.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm a big fan of lo-fi. I mean, you know, I think podcasts and film and everything's gone AI and everything's gone so like technological that we're losing the personal
Mhm.
touch, you know? So I love like personal podcasts and lo-fi stuff, and I always like, you know, Instagram posts that are like, you know, just like home posts of people just doing stuff, making
Yeah.
things at home, you know. It's social media has kind of become so overproduced, and it was never like that when it started, you know.
Yeah, we miss out on a lot of the just like. I mean, I love shit posting, and people shit, but like, because I don't take the internet too seriously because I don't take myself too seriously, and so like, I never want it to feel like it's my LinkedIn business thing, so I never put that bar on myself. But I was thinking recently, I was like, okay, because I just 38 years into my life at 38 years old, heard the term busking. Of course, I'm American and from LA. They don't want you to know what busking is, which is as old as ancient tale as old as time, and it's literally performing for tips. You know, and so when I think about these things like TikTok, Instagram, whatever, and all of the free art that real performers are just giving out for free, I'm like, there should have been an option. It could just be $1. Even if I didn't have anything, but I like someone's work, I'd give $1. I give $1 to have coffee, you know, well, not just $1, but do you know what I mean? Like, I think a tip button would be really great. And I really think that actually performers, and maybe that would help with not everything being so overly produced and
Yeah, but also
just
like
like,
on things like Patreon, you can tip on Patreon, but they want to have your details, your day of birth, your address, your bank details. You know, they want, and so it's like it's hard to tip. You know, you have to like get completely
oh,
give
you mean
all
as a
your
person
information.
tipping, you have to give all that information? Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's got to be a way around it, and it's kind of the thesis of my next journey is like this idea of busking performance art, very vaudeville, and also people not being afraid to get the pay that they deserve that could be as simple as $1.
Freckle, as I've said to you before, you're one of my favourite people. You're one of the most artistic people I've ever met. Thank you for your time today. What a wonderful interview. And we'll speak soon. I wish you the very best.